So we heard you listen to K-pop. Which groups do you stand?
Well, I listen to...
Oh, there we go.
Okay, we can try now. Okay, let's...
Okay. So, hi, first of all. Yeah.
It's good.
Okay. Hey, can you hear me?
Hello. Yes, I hear you loud and clear.
Hi, can you hear me?
Hello.
Hi,
Yeah, I
sir.
can hear.
Thanks
But
so much.
I can hear like... Can I hear louder? Because it's like really not loud. Wait.
Okay. Can you hear me
Oh, okay,
clearer?
now it's good. Yeah, now it's very good.
Okay. Okay, so yesterday I interviewed your top laner, Finn. He gives so much credit to you for being the reason why Rogue is on top of the LEC. Like, he has said so many positive things about you. What do you think about this?
I guess Finn likes to play with me. I think for the whole LEC season, we kind of played in the team that I was the guy that was helping more for the team, even though we were watching LPL and the meta here was more of the carry junglers and stuff. And I guess that's why he liked playing with me. I think I have good comms for him in the game, so I help him a lot.
Do you want to ask, after having your first hot pot meal this year, what did you like most about it? Was it what you expected? And which is your favorite ingredient?
Well, I really like the food. It's not that much different of what I already tried. I mean, it was pretty good, but also the people working there are really well organized. It's really hard to see people hardworking that good in Europe. I feel like here everyone is like really working well together. I kind of think so, and yeah, I guess that's the thing that surprised me the most, because I didn't think it's possible to do your job that well, and yeah.
Okay, you mentioned Europe. I think this will be my last question. What do you miss the most about being in Berlin, where the LEC headquarters is located?
Honestly, I don't miss that much stuff. I think everything here is really nice, and if I could, I would stay here forever.
You think of your jungler inspired highly, and even saying that he is the reason why you guys were first in the league. What exactly does he do that sets Rogue up for success?
I don't remember saying he's the reason, but maybe that's a joke. But he's for sure super good, inspired. He dictates the game a lot, and he's very sure in how he wants to play. So it makes it a lot easier for me and our other teammates to kind of adapt to his play style, because he's someone who kind of takes charge in how he, and how he wants the game to play out, and we kind of have to follow his lead. And if we do, it's very easy, I think, for us to play. So I think that's where we found a lot of success.
How did it feel to achieve master rank on the Chinese super server? Did the server meet your expectations, or were you surprised by the way the players play?
I was pleasantly surprised. It was very fun to play. Everyone is pushing themselves to the limit, and there's a lot more fighting going on. Not just like random fighting, but just fighting for everything. Compared to European solo queues, I think if you play a lot on the Chinese server, you'll become a better player over time, just because it gives you way more practice in every single aspect of the game, from laning phase to mid-game fighting to late game. So I think that's very fun.
Let's talk about before going to World. So, you guys dyed your hair gray, silver? Is that gray or silver?
Silver, yeah.
Yeah, silver. So, I was watching your vlog earlier, and you guys, all of you, agreed that you would dye your hair if you qualify for Worlds. I just want to ask, what does this mean for Rogue? Like, is it a new era? Like, kind of like when someone breaks up with someone, they cut their hair, and now you guys have different hair colors.
I think we just wanted to I don't think there's a special meaning behind it. But I guess in a way we kind of left the old rogue behind in Europe, and we want to show a better rogue here at Worlds. Because I think a lot of us, especially me, had a lot of regrets leaving Europe and leaving the playoffs. So at least for me, I'd like to show that I'm a new player here on the world stage, and that I can show a lot more than I've shown in Europe.
Yeah, you all look very good in the hair colors, by the way. It's very refreshing to see. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna jump into a more personal question. Your special someone, Julia, we believe is her name. Yeah. She expressed on social media that she wanted to be here at Worlds to support you. Kind of similar to OnePlus Phoenix doing these Uni. So, because Riot would only allow players in China, how has she expressed her support during this important time in your life?
It was very nice to have her, especially in the quarantine. It was very... it could be very depressing in a lot of days because you spend all your time alone, not talking to anyone. So just having her there to have someone to talk to always, who understood what I was going through, it helped me through it, I think.
Okay, so I have here a final question. Your team's tagline is Go Rogue, which means to go berserk or to cause chaos. What does it mean for you to go rogue?
I think for me to go rogue is just defying expectations. I think a lot of people think we are this and people think that we're that. And every time people have said we won't do anything, we've done it. So I think that will also help us, with this mentality will also help us get out of groups, and that's what we're gonna try to do.
So it's been an intense year for Mad Lions at every stage of the competition, from the LEC to here at World. What do you do when you feel burned out? What are some of the things that help you bounce back?
Well, for me, I like to take a break from the game.
Yeah.
And usually, if I just stop playing for like 3-4 days, then yeah, I'm back in and ready to play. So yeah, that's my way of dealing with it.
Do you play like what kind of other games do you play? If it's not League.
Yeah, well, I like to play World of Warcraft a lot right now, and I'm waiting for the new expansion. Yeah, that's my go-to game.
Looking back on the year, in which area would you say you've grown the most, and what are you particularly proud of?
As for myself, I think basically I've grown a lot in the sense that I'm better as a team player right now. I'm better in a team environment, and yeah, I'm better at like helping my teammates be better than before. Because in my first year I was just kind of playing for myself and just focusing on me only. And right now I'm focusing on the whole team, which is important, I think.
Is this your first time in China? Any dish that stood out to you so far? And we'd also like to know what's your comfort food and how you like your coffee.
Yeah, it's my first time in China. I didn't really try too much Chinese food yet, because we didn't really go out yet. We are gonna do that next week, I think. So I'm not sure what's my like favorite Chinese food yet. And as for my coffee, I like latte macchiato.
So we heard you listen to K-pop. Which groups do you stand?
Well, I listen to Twice and Blackpink a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, they are pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect choice. So I have also another question here. It has been a big year for Mad Lions, having only debuted this spring, and now you guys are in Worlds. Looking back, can you list 3 things you wish you knew before starting on your pro journey on the LEC?
I wish I knew how stressful it would be to play, because I thought, like when I played in regional leagues, it was like kind of no stress because everyone was just playing for fun. But here in LEC, it's way more try hard and a lot of stress comes with it. Yeah, another thing, I wish I knew how much time would I spend away from my home, because I'm basically like more away from my home than I am there.
Mad has played a lot of games this play-ins. The team was challenged on the world stage. Looking back on the year competing in the LEC to Worlds, how have you grown as a player and as a person?
I think starting Spring Split, I had a lot of habits and even in-game habits, to be honest, that were bad. And basically my journey this year has been trying my best to remove the bad habits and add new ones that are good. At first it was in-game because going from ERL level to LEC is like a big step up. So basically every mistake gets punished a lot more, and you need to think more about your wave, stuff like this. That's the first things you need to look out for, and then comes the like day-to-day life stuff. Like having a routine is always helpful. For example, I think the biggest hardship was the playoffs, because it was the first time I was like under so much pressure. There were a lot of negative comments and stuff like this. I think that's like even an ongoing process, because for the first playoffs I really crumbled under pressure. The second time it was fine, but now at Worlds it was more than I could handle, at least for the beginning. I have to thank also my coaching staff for helping me deal with this problem. They were really helpful, and also my teammates. Like they always support me, and they make me feel better if I somehow I'm not feeling the greatest about something.
You mentioned the negative comments. So how do you deal with them?
Basically right after a game I never read social media, because I know that I know that it will be full of like whatever people think. Basically, it doesn't necessarily have to be an educated opinion, but there are opinions, right? So basically what I like to do is after games, I look at it myself, I look at it with my coaches, and we analyze it. And I can say, okay, this game at minute 10, I should have done this, I didn't. So this was bad. This was a mistake, right? If I get flamed or trash talked for stuff that's not a mistake, or we don't consider it a mistake, because from team to team you can have like stuff that's one team maybe considers bad and you maybe consider good because you see it in the long run, or like there can be this kind of situations, right? So if I get flamed for something that we don't consider that's bad, then I don't care. If people are trash talking me for stuff that's like actually true, then it becomes a problem. But then again, you just have to fix those issues, right? It's okay to be sad about it, to be disappointed at yourself, which is what happens in my case, but it's not okay to look at social media and be like, oh, this guy said I'm trash, so he must be right, you know? You shouldn't let that get to you.
Yes, social media can be sometimes really toxic. In particular, in what ways did solo queuing in the super server in China and meeting many other teams at Worlds bring value to you? Like, were there any lessons that you've learned?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think solo queue was a big lesson for me here, because
how different
it made me realize.
Yeah,
I mean, it's different, of course. Like, the players here are a lot more, oh, you fucked up, so I'm gonna kill you, and they don't care where. If there's a jungler behind you, they don't care. If you fucked up, they're gonna kill you, right? That's how the mindset is here. While in EU, people are just more like laid back, chilling in lane, like it's fine, my bot lane will carry. You know, that's kind of the main difference between EU solo queue and Chinese solo queue. Like, they are more willing to punish mistakes. And also there is a lot of one-trick ponies that are really, really, really good at their champs. So if you do a mistake against, for example, Olaf top that has like 3,000, 4,000 games on Olaf, you better be sure that you're gonna die, right? So it's a lot more fun, I can say that much, because you also go into this mindset and you're like, oh, this guy fucked up, I'm going in.
What would you say you're most grateful for right now?
The most grateful for? I guess right now I'm most grateful for being at Worlds with my teammates. I wouldn't choose to be here with anyone else, and I'm also grateful that I am able to be here, because there was no fourth seed until this year, and when we came fourth, there was a fourth seed at Worlds, which was really insane, and I am really grateful for this.
In an interview, we read and agree with you that the public and the fans doesn't really understand what's happening behind the scenes. it's like they jump into conclusions immediately. So like if you win, you're already this great team. If you lose, then yeah, too bad for you. We would like to know, is that a perception that you want to change? And how can content creators or media like us, how can we do better justice to teams that is not results-based analysis?
I mean, that's a tough question. I think, of course, no one wants to be trash talked by social media, right?
Yeah.
Like, no one wants this. So I think there's no good answer actually to how can social media or how can content creators help players. I think, actually, no, I changed my opinion. There is. So giving the players an opportunity to speak out for themselves and explain what they're doing is a great way of affecting the public opinion into the better. Because if someone trash talks, I don't know, a player, and he's like, this guy is boosted, I don't know what the fuck he's doing, and then the player goes on an interview and explains he was doing this because of some complicated reason that maybe someone like that's silver or gold didn't see, then maybe that guy will go check what he said and be like, okay, so that's why he was doing that. So giving players a channel to express themselves is a great way to help them, especially with public opinion.
I asked Humanoid this question yesterday as well. What do you do when you feel burned out, and what are the things that help you bounce back?
So there can be multiple types of burnout. I think the most common one, at least for me, is burnout from stress. And this can manifest in you playing less solo queue. That's usually, if that's the case, you try to fix it by meditation, maybe going out with friends. Everyone has needs that they need to fulfill daily for them to feel better and to cope with stress. You need to identify those needs and fulfill them, especially when the players are stressed. And with burnout from solo queue, you just take a break, play some other game, go out. Like that's kind of easy actually.
We've been curious for a long time now. Where did you get your in-game name, and what does Orome mean?
Okay, so I'm a big fan of Lord of the Rings. So after watching Lord of the Rings like 3 or 4 times, I was like, what if I buy the books? So I bought the books and I saw, there is one more book called The Silmarillion, which Lord of the Rings is part of, and I decided to read it. It was a very complicated read, but there was one character that I liked, which was Orome. And also, and to give you some context, he was the Valar of marksmen, which is basically the god of marksmen. This was just in the period where AD carries were being name changed to marksmen. There was like in season 3 or 4, I don't remember exactly. And I was an AD carry back then, so I decided, this is a fitting name for me. Like, it's the god of marksmen, I'm an AD carry. So it just went like that.
When fans don't see you on screen playing, how do you show your support for the team? And what are your contributions, or how do you help the team off screen?
Well, I just try to give as much input as I can, right? And these players are so knowledgeable, so it's also limited to what I can provide them. But they can always use me as their sixth man or sixth brain, right? If they have any opinion. And then I'm just a goofball, right? I'm just trying to have fun with all of them, being a good friend, and then trying to bring the mood up when some scrims aren't going well, right? I'm just there to lighten up the mood because I'm just having so much fun, right, being here. So that's my contribution to the team.
What are some of the things that you've been working on, improving this year?
Well, what I wanted to do is just while I didn't play as much competitively myself, it's just I want to see how the game works on the highest level of Europe, right? And see how the players work together, because I felt in my past teams there's always been some people that didn't want to win as much as me, so I just had to take a step back and to see what okay, so I'm looking up to Perks, right? And he's a captain and knows what the right things are to do if you want to win. So I've been observing him and how he does it and how this team acts together, and I can take a lot of that with me if I join another team or what's going to happen with me in the future. And so personally, individually, I also felt much better because I've seen the team scrim so much, so I can just implement so much to myself. And yeah, it's unbelievable like how much I learned this year, and I'm so grateful to be here.
Okay, you mentioned perks. So, back in in summer season when you were being interviewed and when you subbed in for him, you said that you are going to raise the Summoners Cup together with the rest of the team. Now that you are months later, now that you are in Broads, what has changed since then?
What has changed is like we're gonna lift the Summoners Cup, right? So that's still the goal, and I feel like this group of people are definitely set to do it. Like we were so close last year, or they were so close last year, but I feel like once we like figured out how we're all gonna be like so what's it called, consistent, I think honestly like this team will for sure win Worlds once we're like peaking. And yeah, so goal set us on Worlds, right? Of course, we don't underestimate anyone in our group, so we have to go past groups first. Like even though we beat what was supposedly the strongest team, we still like need to focus so we don't drop the ball against the so-called worse teams than Suing, right? So just one step at a time, and yeah, we just gotta grind it out.
I watched G2's latest vlog like yesterday, and in there we saw you having fun, touring around China, celebrating Perk's birthday. We wanted to ask you what's the best thing about being in Shanghai right now, culture-wise? Is it the food, the people? What do you think?
I think for sure, like the food and like just in general the view, right? Because like when I'm back home in Denmark or something, we don't have like any buildings that are like taller than 70 meters, and here the buildings are like 100 meters plus, like so many of them. So I feel like it's so like fascinating to watch like how beautiful Shanghai actually is. Like even like at night when all the buildings are lighting up, it's just like it's so surreal, right? Because like I'm used to something else, and it just also wants me to go out more because I feel like Shanghai has so much different culture, even though we're like in China, right? Like it has everything to offer, and I really just want to go out in the city more. But we also have to like focus on Worlds, right? But as a team, we've been going out whenever we're having off day or like going out together, and that's not something that the team did before. Like when they were at Worlds, they were just purely focusing on Worlds. But I also think it's very important to like go outside as a team.
Yeah, I think I also agree that like it helps boost the team's morale. Okay, speaking of cultures, let's talk about these questions. The following questions will be focused more on your Filipino nationality. So, Filipino fans are known globally for their passion, energy, and overall showing immense support to their favorite team. So, like in a sense, they can really make you hype. What's the best thing that a fan has ever said to you, or maybe something that they gave you?
It's like hard to pinpoint something, right? It's just like everything comes from like drawings, nice messages, and I don't want to have that one thing that's like separates it all. It's like because when you have like so much positivity, and like I know all the Filipino fans are like so supportive of like either me or like the team more, and it's just like it warms my heart a lot, right? Because it's like the way that they have so much passion for like a guy is like so insane. Like even when you look at like the fans like in the Filipino, like how much respect and gratitude they have for Manny Pacquiao, right? It's just you know that they're with you all the time, and even like if it's the best time, they don't like start hating on you. Like they're more like supportive and oh, you did well, you can do better, right? It's just like it's just what I love the Philippines about. It's like all this positivity, and that's always what I feel as well when I'm in the country and like getting like serviced by like waitress or something like there. It's just it's a different world when it comes to like service and positivity of the people there.
Okay, so the press station says we only have like 2 minutes remaining. So I'm gonna ask my last question. What language do you speak at home, and what's a Filipino phrase that you use a lot?
Well, I speak mostly Danish at home. My mom likes to speak Tagalog to me, and I usually just respond with Danish because that's kind of just like how it's been. Like in the past, I could speak some Tagalog, and I still can speak some Tagalog, but it's just like I'm kind of embarrassed at my like accent and stuff like that, so don't want to do that. But yeah, I mean, my like worst used word in Tagalog, I'm not sure. Like it's hard to say, right? But I can know how to say mabuhay. That's
Okay.
that's a good one.
Okay.
Or ingat. I usually say ingat actually to like Filipino people
Yeah,
when they have to take care, right?
that's very sweet. Okay, so thank you so much, Pinoy. I had a great time talking to you, and I wish you the best of luck.
Salamat.
Salamat. Thank you so much. I wish you the best
you.
of luck in your next game.
Thank you.
Thank you so much,
you, Sam.
and good luck on Mad Lions.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Finn. Thank you for the interview, and I wish you good luck on the rest of the group.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Inspired, and I wish you the
Thank
best
you.
of luck on your games.
Thank you.